Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bowls Queensland State Championships Men's and Ladies Singles Finals. We're streaming to you today from Club Helensvale. It's a beautiful morning here, and we're at Helensvale, and the temperature's around 19 degrees. Very little slight breeze from the southeast, but a really wonderful morning for playing these finals. I have with me CEO of Bowls Queensland, Brett Wilkie. Morning, Brett.
Morning, Bob.
Looking all good for the day.
Yeah, beautiful morning here at Club Helensvale.
Yep, we've got some great games lined up. We're actually running the game for you today is Steve Tong and Sean Ingham, and other games are on there as well. We've got the ladies are running their semi-final, and it's the quarter-final, isn't it, for the men?
Yes, that's right.
So we'll be following both those games for you, all those games for you, and bring you update scores as we go along. So, Brett, we had some great games during the last couple of days.
Yeah, there's been some great games yesterday in the men's games. To get to this stage, Scott De Jong defeated Dean McWhinney 21-11. Glenn Bailey 21 defeated Ty Jesberg 17. Ty Young Jr. from Longreach has gone very well this championships and also on district sides. Another Queensland junior rep, Jake Rinn 21 defeated Jason Moore 15. Kevin Anderson from Broadbeach 21 defeated Ryan Digby from Inogra, and Stephen Tong 21 defeated Aaron Sheriff 12. That was a good win by Steve.
That was a great win for him.
And Sean Ingham 21 defeated Ian Law 10. Another good win over Ian Law's a very good singles player.
My word.
And Paul Gilbert 21 defeated Brett Merkel 19. Close one there.
Yeah, that was a cracker, that one.
And also another one of our Queensland junior stars, Kane Nelson from Belmont Services 21 defeated Sean Baker 20. So that was a great win by Kane. And I heard that he got 4 shots on the last end to get over the line to reach the quarterfinals here today. So
done very well there then.
So a quarterfinal lineup today is Scott De Jong versus Glenn Bailey, and Jake Rinn versus Kevin Anderson. That's the top half of the draw. The lower half of the draw is Steve Tong versus Sean Ingham and Paul Gilbert versus Kane Nelson. So that's our quarterfinal. In the men's this morning. In the women's semi-finals, we've got Karen Goldsworthy from Cleveland against Heather Hodgkin from Paradise Point. Heather's gone very well. She's gone well in a number of the events this championships, hasn't she, Bob?
You've done very, very well, yeah. She's had some great results, and she's bowling so well too.
And then another great game with Chloe Stewart and Bolivia Millerick as well in the other women's semi-final. So some great games on here today. Unfortunately, we can't cover them all, but we've got Steve Tong and Sean
Ingham. We'll share it around
Ingham
as much as we can anyway. So
so we've got Steve Tong and Sean Ingham, and we've also might be able to show a little bit of Chloe Stewart and Bolivia Millerick throughout the morning as well.
So we'll just bring up to date on the main game that we're following. Score-wise, I'm not sure where we're up to yet. I think we're on about that's the second end gone by. I noticed then that Steve got a 3, I think it was, that the marker put up, the battens. So we'll just have to get onto that one. Yep, so it's 3-1 to Steve Tong there at the moment on that game. Just also like to acknowledge that the streaming is from by Bowls Queensland is brought to us by the courtesy of City of Gold Coast, and they're a major sponsor for the live streaming for this championships, and we thank them very much for all their support. They've been fantastic in supporting bowls on the coast overall, and we do appreciate the support by the City of the Gold Coast. Also, Club Helensvale, who's hosting this event, it's been fantastic. They couldn't do enough for us. They've set everything up. The greens have been running wonderfully well, and the staff have been fantastic.
Couldn't really get much better morning here this morning, Bob. There's not a breath of wind.
Yep.
And it's just a nice, pleasant temperature.
Perfect
not too
conditions.
hot, not too cold.
Yep.
The greens are sort of drying out after a little bit of rain, throughout the week, but they're still running very well.
Right. So just looking at this game here with Sean, it looks like he's Holding shot at the back, I think. Stephen's going to have a look at the head.
Yeah, Sean with the lime green lighter bowls and Steve with the yellow speckled bowls. It's they're both using Henselite XGs today. Pretty sure they're both size 4.
So if you're watching this, let us know where you're from. Hit that share button and the like buttons, and especially anyone away from out of this area, let us know where you're watching us from. We'd like to see the audience that we have. Morning, Chris. How are you going, mate? You've had a pretty good series yourself. Nathan Champion saying hello to us. And it looks like a good morning in Townsville, Lana. Janet, how are you going?
Good weight there from Sean. I'm not sure whether, I think he might have just counted.
Yep. You might get a couple there now. What's Steve going to do? He looks like he's on a good line.
Yeah, I think his weight was enough for these last.
Yeah.
Just there was the line that
let
him down.
Oh, very good bowl.
Oh, he's followed it through just enough.
Just fell on it. Well done.
It's made it pretty awkward for Sean to get to there now too.
Yes, and a toucher. What shots he play there, Brett?
Well,
knowing Sean down the middle.
Yeah, well, he can go up the middle and hit the last bowl to try and kill it. But the other option is to try and play a little bit of weight onto his own or
roll it out
through his last bowl. But I don't think it's sort of wedged in there. I don't know whether he'd have to get his own bowl onto the jack, which is not easy. Probably the easiest shot is straight up the middle, I think, just to kill it. But it's early in the game. He may...
he's only one down. And he can... If he has a crack at it, he's still probably only going to be one down, unless he cleans his out.
There's a possibility he can get his own bowl onto the jack for 2. Needs the inside part of it.
He's going to cut here, I think.
Well, he had pretty good weight.
Yes, he did. Good effort.
If he had got the outside of his bowl, it may not have changed anything, but the inside sort of quarter of the bowl may have got the jack.
Thanks, Dot Fitzpatrick, for your comments. And hello to Steve Titer, is it? Yeah. From Warwick.
I know some players at the start of a game don't like to drive too early. They like to try and find their weight early in the game, make sure they get their draw weight going. But I'm not sure about Sean in that regard, but he had pretty good weight with a lot of those bowls, so he's sort of found his weight pretty good. But great last bowl from Steve with a 3-1 lead, possibly 2 down on the head.
Yep.
Great shot there to go 4-1 up.
Get you a bit of an update as we get this games going. We'll be feeding you some scores on the other games. A little early yet to be running all the scores to you, but they're all on about their second or third end, so we'll keep you all posted so you know what's happening across the green.
Kane Nelson's got a good start against Paul Gilbert, 4-0 up. All the others are pretty close still.
Yep.
Kevin Anderson 4-1 up against Jake Green.
So Sean's drawn a couple of shots there. Still plenty of room for him though.
Yeah, Steve just finding his weight, a little bit unders and overs at the moment.
Yeah. He's had a good championships, hasn't he? He's done done very well.
Yeah, won his first state title in the fours.
Yeah.
I was talking to him this morning. I
Pretty
said I didn't realise it was his first state title. He said he's won champion state titles, but first state title in the Open State Championships. So he's
pretty stoked about it.
I know he's been trying for a lot of years. So it's always a pleasure when you win your first of something, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
And these two played off in the fours final.
Yeah, they know each other's game pretty well.
Last Monday.
It seems a while ago. Monday, yeah. It's been a big 2 weeks.
I'm sure Sean will be looking to get one back on that game.
He's kicked the goal there. An opportunity here for Sean.
Yeah, well, he's got a fair bit of room for a free hit to take the lead here.
Yeah. So Luke's got these greens running pretty well today, Brett. He's done a good job on them. Up very early this morning.
Yeah, I see him here double rolling it this morning. So he'll be disappointed with that.
He'll be upset with that. Oh dear.
He may have nearly knocked it in. No, only one.
Wow.
One shot, so I'm not sure whether he was holding three before that, but
it looked like it on the screen.
Yeah. But there was opportunity gone begging, but let off for Tongi.
Alan Carter, how you going? Jim Johnson and Colleen Ebert. Good morning to you all. From all around the place too. Point Lookout.
Colleen from Woodgate, that's a nice part of the world.
It is. It is.
Up the Queensland coast. Good starter again from Sean. Just put the pressure on. Steve's just finding his weight at the moment, so he'll be looking to zero in on it back near this end.
All got good line.
See, the flags are just starting to blow a little bit. They were fairly still when we started, but there's just a small puff of breeze starting to come up. Wind's coming from the roadside.
Yep. Sort of dead southeast, isn't it? Pretty much.
So that's the left of your screen. As you're looking at the screen, the slight breeze from the left to right. A lot better weight there from Steve, but it still looks like 2 to Sean. He'll be looking to try and just sneak past here, I think, without setting up in a target.
Oh, that's a good bowl.
Yeah, it splits those two bowls and close to counting.
Very good.
Started to change hands, a little bit more open on the backhand. Needed to reach though.
Needed to reach that.
Yeah, be disappointed with that, I think.
Shouldn't play the other hand, I think. Nice jack-eye bowl there to judge where to come into.
He still could draw around that last bowl though, I think.
Yeah.
It's I think his last bowl would have been around that. If he is playing the backhand, he wouldn't want to set up any target because it's not really an easy shot for Steve. He's playing the backhand, but you don't want to make it any easier if your opposition is on the same note.
Correct. Two there, maybe.
Poked it out a little bit. You'll be able to see the jack now, which is
what you were saying.
A little bit different from when you can see the mat. It looks a bit better, but it's only holding one now. He may have been holding two before that.
Well, nobody be scratching his head there.
Yeah, he is. He's a couple of 2 ends in a row now. It's sort of a couple of little rolls of bowls have gone against him.
Songy's got a good bowl here. Oh,
great attempt.
Well, take one.
Yeah, well, he scored 2 ones, but it quite could have easily been,
yep.
You know, a 3 and a 2 or a 3 and a 3, really. But still early days yet. Long way to go. 21 up this game with a 3-hour time limit.
You can see the scores on your screen, people, about the other games there, just so we don't have to keep you out of the loop of what's happening across the green with the other games. And on the right side of your screen are the semi-final of the girls.
Yeah, the semi-final of girls is 25 up with no time limit. And same with the men's next game in their semi-finals, also 25 up with no time limit. So following this game, we'll be showing the women's final. And then following that game will be the men's final later this afternoon. So should be some great bowls today,
yes,
Bob, I'm expecting.
There will be some good bowls today, and people will start rolling in. There's a nice little number of people around the greens now, but I'm sure this afternoon it'll be fairly well patronised. Nothing much better to do than come down here and watch some good quality bowls on a lovely Sunday afternoon. Sean's been starting off pretty well, holding shots, but Steve's been able to come in with his bowls in the last bowl usually and cut him back. Ben James, Todd, how are you? Watching from Gatton. Catherine Cartwright, hello, good morning. And got Michael Brindle from Lowood.
That's my old club, Bob. I used to play at Gatton for when I first started playing again many years ago. I used to play a bit of Aussie rules and cricket and that sort of thing out around Gatton and Toowoomba, but started playing again at the Gatton Bowls Club.
Very good.
Nice spot.
Good spot. Good spot. What took you all the way out there? The football or?
I chased a girl actually that came from that area.
Yep.
Many moons ago. From Ballarat. I grew up in Ballarat originally in Victoria and made the move to Queensland. So.
Was that a family move or you moved yourself?
No, that was chasing a girl. So.
Okay.
I know the weather's a lot better up here in Queensland than what it is in Ballarat. Can get quite cool there. So.
All good. G'day, Alan Law. How are you? How's it going in Wigan? How's your trip been? Ian tells us you've had a good time and still catching up with family and all. Hope you're keeping well. Look forward to catching up with you when you get back.
Well, taken one out, so they're measuring for 2. For Sean Ingham at the moment.
Yeah. Isn't it deceptive where you see him measuring there compared to the... it's just the one by the look of it.
We'll start again, Bob. 4 all.
Yeah. Good on him.
Sean opting to go a bit longer here. The mat probably about 2 metres up and throwing the jack to the tee, so a little bit of a change of length.
Yep. He's been drawing all right on whatever length he's on, but where he just needs to... He's probably thinking about those multiples he's missing those on.
Yeah, well, his weight's probably been a little bit... Last few ends, his weight's been a little bit better than
Tong,
Steve.
Yep.
Sometimes you've got to be careful when you change the length yourself when you're actually got the weight better.
Mastering the other length.
Sometimes it can only take one good weighted bowl close to the jack, and then it gives you that confidence to keep going
like
now.
This one.
So Sean's dropped short, and Steve's jumped on. So he could have. We'll wait and see whether it's been detrimental the change of length.
One of the girls' semi-finals here, we've got Bolivia playing Chloe's, and that's one shot in it, 3-4. Good game there. They're both good games, actually. Only a couple of shots in both those ladies' semi-finals. Steve's put another one on it here. Good bowl.
Pretty close to 2. Sean wasn't too far away with his second bowl, so I'm sure he'd be confident to just drop a foot.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't drop too much. It's easy to do, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, he's played this very, very well. Great bowl.
Very good shot.
Nice bowl.
Made a big difference falling over too. I know Steve's bowls, or all the bowls so far, have stayed up on their running edge, but that one's fallen over and made it that much harder again for Steve to get to.
Yep.
Whereas it probably would have been a forehand shot if it had stayed up, but now he's
back in onto his own bowl, maybe.
Yeah, he's going to look playing through that, get that front bowl onto the jack.
Good effort.
Weight's pretty good for that shot, I think.
Yeah. He sits that at that weight, he could sit for 3.
Opportunity to capitalise for Sean. See how good his memory is.
Yeah. Still at the right line, looking good. No, he's just short on weight. He's pushed that across to protect, but you can see his own bowl.
Yeah, it has changed it up a little bit. It's giving him a clear look straight at the bowl now, so he could get it clean if he can get the sort of the inside part of the bowl.
Go for it. Just missed that.
He gave him a bit of an opportunity again there, didn't he?
Yeah.
But,
you'll probably have it.
The line was good.
Yeah. One down.
So Sean, we have a new leader. Sean's taking the lead, 5-4.
Missed an action replay, Robbie. So, 3/4 length. A good start by Sean here. Very good bowl.
Yeah, great starter there. First bowl's so important in singles. Really sets the tune up for the whole end, really.
But don't forget to hit those like buttons, people, and share as many people as you can. To get this out to as many people as possible. Let them see what the great bowls they're either missing out on seeing or inviting them to watch. Falling a little short there, Sean, couple of feet.
Yeah, you really needed to reach to finish behind or trail the jack around the corner there.
And Steve's got a pretty good bowl here. Very well played. Oh,
Good shot. He's a little bit stiff, really.
hard to say. He may have got it. Marcus says that, oh, bowl's just fallen out, so it'll be certainly...
Yeah, the marker favoured Steve before that.
Now he says got it. So, yeah.
It's made it a bit easier for
Sean
Shaw now too. Try and front hopper be perfect right now.
Yep. He's in the area too. Oh, good bowl. Good effort. Good effort.
Yeah, I don't think he's got another one, but it's definitely changed the head up a lot. Made it a lot better for himself with Steve's bowl popping straight out now.
Yep.
Steve's got to be a little bit careful. Yeah, it's not necessarily getting shots all the time. It's about building the head and also making it harder for your opponents to get the shot.
Yeah.
Good spot there from Tongi though. It's in a handy spot for a little splash of the jack.
Yep.
So he's got sort of both sides covered now if he can splash it a little bit, but he wouldn't want to play too hard unless if he gets onto Sean's front bowl, he's popping his own out. I'm sure Sean will be trying to beat that last bowl. Just try and cover. Short again, he's given him an opportunity.
He has. See what Steve can do here. Good effort.
Yeah.
Good head.
Good attempt, yeah. Probably the best head we've had so far, so both players finding their zone.
Number one to Sean though. There's no runaway yet, but it'll be interesting. There'll be probably one end where someone gets a multiple or could make the difference to the game. It's been very, very close head.
A couple of the other games are starting to blow out a little bit. Kane Nelson's gone out to a 14-2 lead.
Yeah.
Kevin Anderson a 9-3 lead. It's great to see two of our under-18 Queensland team here in the quarterfinals today, Bob.
Yeah, it is.
Jake Rinn from North Toowoomba and Kane Nelson from Belmont Services. They're both been in the Queensland team under-18 team for a couple of years now, and they've still got a year or two left.
Yep.
So they've
all goes well.
Been great players from a young age, and they're really developing all the time, which is great.
Selected to be pleased. I think they're doing a great job.
yeah,
showing that they're putting the faith in them anyway.
Not long been picked in a Queensland team that's going to take on New South Wales down at Cabramatta at the start of July.
Right.
So 2 5-a-side boys and girls. So I'm sure they'll be all looking forward to getting down to Cabramatta and taking on the Blues.
Yep. There'll be no rest. They'll be straight into that after the Trans-Tasman.
Yeah, good bowling there from Sean. One on, one behind.
Yep. Steve's looks a little narrow. Yeah. And short.
Yeah, short and narrow is always a bit of a sin, I think, Bob.
You'll do it. Just some more often than others.
Yeah, that's right. Especially when you're down.
It's the correction, isn't it? That's what it's about.
That's right.
Good bowls, Sean. Great bowl.
Yeah, he's played a good shot, but he's also given him
target.
Given him a little bit of a land there.
He's taken a better line. Much better line.
Not sure if he's up again, is he?
No, he's going to just... No, he's... You're right. Need another foot away.
He wasn't far out, really, but...
Yeah. Well, Sean can afford to just tuck that in.
Yeah, nice. Great opportunity here. If he touches it 4 or 5 inches, it's going to be really hard to get to there.
Might get that number he's looking for.
He would have cut it down to 2, I say, Steve, with his last.
Yeah. Interesting if what happens here, whether Steve decides he's got
to trying hard.
He's trying to get it too.
Yeah, very good bowl.
I don't think he's going to be short this time.
He's not.
You ready, Bobby?
Played a good bowl again, and a little bit unlucky. So unlucky to in the fact that he's set it up a bit of a target now. Sure, Tongy be trying to look for the split or get the bowl onto the jack and kill it.
Yep. That's gonna happen.
He's gone
he's
flat out. He's tried to play a little bit of a. Tried to guide it a little bit.
He did try to steer it down there.
Yeah, usually he's tried to guide it to get the split run onto the jack, I think, but didn't quite get the line. Three shots to Sean. Takes him to 9-4. Gives him a break now. You're just saying was waiting for a multiple. He's finally got it after a few ones.
Usually goes the other way when I say those things. Curse the guys, unfortunately.
Yeah, Tongy was a bit disappointed himself. Was just replaying the shot as he was walking down the green. So gave him a little bit of a target, but didn't take the opportunity.
No. Sean's sticking to the longer end. What have you got here? Good bowl. Nice start.
It's always good to put that first one on the jack after you've got a multiple, Bob.
Yep. Keeps the pressure right on. Wow. What's he got? Couple of feet.
Steve Tongs from the Pine Rivers Bowls Club in Brisbane, the home of the BPL. Every year they do a great job up there hosting the BPL.
Yep, that's good bowling from Sean. Very good.
Yeah, 2 good shots. Sean's from the Broadbeach Bowls Club, another great host venue for bowls. Australian Open, Commonwealth Games. Australian Open coming up soon, and also then the Asia Pacific Games, which is following the Australian Open this year. The Asia Pacific Games will be played at Broadbeach, Musgrave Hill and Helensvale. So it'll be great. Some great bowls there, Bob, to come and watch.
Yeah, it will be. Really good. Really good. All excited for it. We've got a lot happening in the next 6 weeks, haven't we?
Yeah, that's right. Good shot there from Sean. He's a little bit stiff. The little trail would have been awesome, but he's just overplayed it a touch. Unlucky, really, but giving Tongy a bit more room to try and cut it down to 1.
Morning, Jade. Glad you could be with us, mate. And to Liz, the update lady scores are on your screen, on the right side of the screen. It's your lady scores there, so you can pick them up. Got any questions, send them to us. And morning, Linda. Thank you, Linda. And hello to David. Alan Law again. You should be in bed over in England, mate, this time of night.
Sean just going for cover there, I think. He's got the best back. Just maybe expecting that Steve might be looking for the jack, sit the bowl, trail the jack. He's got the best back out of it, but Steve's only just trying to draw here.
Yeah,
is he going to hold? His weight was pretty good, probably perfect really for
it was
to cut it down and even maybe draw a toucher.
He may have second shot there. Yeah, you can have a look. Yep.
One shot, Sean Ingham takes him to 10-4. It's pretty lucky he stayed up on the running edge there. I think if he had fallen, it might have been the difference of 2, maybe 3, but just hung in. Still a good break to Sean Ingham now, 10-4, first one to 21 for this quarter-final match, and then the semi-final and final are both 25 up.
When you're playing these, Wiz, do you ever think in your singles that you break the game down, like he's halfway there, halfway through the game, or is there any strategy you play when you're playing your singles in that respect, as far just for yourself?
Yeah, I like to break it down and just set yourself little targets and things like that throughout the game, instead of getting too carried away and looking at the end. Like some people are looking towards the end result all the time instead of just focusing on each stage at a time. So I think it's better to break it down and into sections.
Yeah,
different things work for different people, but they're both in completely different positions now. So Steve's got to try and break Sean's run here. So he's just got to really win an end for a start to get back in the game, and Sean's looking to keep that pressure on.
Yeah. He's drawn behind, but there's a long way, a lot of room there.
Yeah, Sean's actually put his first bowl in the ditch, so just left Steve a bit of room here if he can capitalise on it.
It's one of those things where you do get a lapse now and again when you're in the front.
Sometimes you can get that break, do all the hard work, get the break, and then sort of ease off a little bit, relax, as you say. Happens a lot in singles. It's never over until that last bowl gets a shot, is it? You hear it a lot. It can
be hard to get too.
People getting stuck with one bowl to go to get out, or one shot to go to get out.
Yep.
A bit like Sean Baker yesterday. He was leading 20-17 against Kane Nelson, and Kane's picked up a 4 to get over the line to win. So you just never know.
Jade, we'll just see if we can do something about getting those scores of the ladies for you. I know it's a bit people are finding it hard to read the screen. They're finding it a bit hard to read. Anyway,
so at the moment, the girls, Chloe Stewart's leading 10-3 over Bolivia Millerick. Karen Goldsworthy's leading 6-4 over Helen Hodgson. Well, we're just talking about Steve Tong needing to win an end. He's holding shot at the moment if he doesn't spoil it with his last. So he's an opportunity to make 2 here if he can.
He's been in a bit of a drought, hasn't he?
Very good shot.
Oh, it's a good bowl. Well done.
Should be enough, you would think.
So.
Might be close. Yep, 2 shots.
Sure. Yep, he got 2 out of that.
Well, that keeps him in touch now. Gets him back to within 4, but also opportunity to change the length. He's brought the mat up a few metres from where it has been. A little bit shorter.
He's playing a
bit of a loose end there from Sean. He'd sort of been playing pretty consistent the last few ends, but a bit of a lapse. Kevin Anderson was leading 14-3, but Jake Wren's now just picked up a 3, so that'll be a good confidence booster for him.
For Jake, yep.
To go to 14-6, so he needs to try and string a few ends together now. Kane Nelson's 18-5 up. Oh, they're just shaking hands now, so he must have picked up a 3. Yeah. So that was a quick game. Kane Nelson's defeated Paul Gilbert looks like it'll be 21-5. First one through to the semi-final of the men's.
Yeah, he's done a good job. Good job. That's a good bowl there by Steve.
Good correction. He's change of length threw himself out with his first bowl, but good correction.
Yeah. No, good effort, Sean.
Nice reply. Good weight.
Yeah.
Gave it that little bit of a chance. Did the bowler trail a jack?
We just want to acknowledge the City of the Gold Coast for enabling this streaming to happen, and they've been a major sponsor for the live streaming for the 2019 Bowls Queensland State Championships. And we'd like to thank them for their support, their support to bowls throughout the whole coast. They're very, very supportive of our sport.
Yeah, they support a lot of events on the Gold Coast, which is great. Great shot there from Sean Ingham. He's just fallen out. He would have been close for shot, but now he may be 2 down. Yeah, that's 2 down. Made a big difference, but very good shot.
Interesting what selection of shot that Steve decides to play here.
I think ideally, if he can just touch the outside of his own bowl onto the jack, play with about 18 inches of weight, foot of weight, even if he sits at fat and lays down, just arrive. But if he go to the wide side, if he just passes, it's going to finish in a good position. Otherwise, if he touches it, it's going to tidy it up a little bit, make it a lot harder for Sean to get in there. Sean's got a pretty good shot at the moment to play through his own or the shot bowl, get the jack.
Depends on his weight here.
Disappointed a bit by that, not reaching. I think he had to give it a little bit of a chance, but he's poked Sean's bowl out there a little bit, so that's going to get in his eye.
You think Sean might try to play over his own bowl?
No, I think he'll still try and just sneak past his short bowl onto the shot bowl, get into that split, trail a jack, sit the shot, stay.
Just good try.
Good weight.
Yeah, good weight.
Needed that weight to be able to swing around his front bowl.
Well, here we go. It's now 10-7 for favour of Sean. Crowd's building up around here now, Brett.
Yeah, there's a lot of people coming in.
People are rolling in, sitting around the greens. It's a beautiful morning to be sitting out in the sun. It's not too hot.
Yeah, we've got the clouds are all dispersed.
Excellent.
Bright blue sky now. Just a slight breeze.
Yeah, good atmosphere here too. Just to remind you, after
slight
this
breeze coming from left to right as you look at the screen.
We'll be streaming the ladies' final for you next after these matches, followed by while the men's semi's on, and then we'll have the men's finals after that. So we've got a great lineup of bowls for you all day here, folks. So if you're in the area, pop on down to Club Helensvale, and if not, get online and have a look at it. Tell your friends about it. You're going to see some great bowls.
Aaron Goldsworthy's had a good run to get out to a 9-6 lead and was just holding 2 or 3, but a good shot from Heather Hoshin in the last bowl may have got shot to stop her run. So they're having a good tussle in the ladies semi. Yeah, 1 to Heather. Makes their score. Karen's 9, Heather 7 now, whereas I think Karen was holding 2 or 3 there, would have given her maybe a 12-6 lead, but great last bowl from Heather.
Pullback. And looks like Chloe's starting to run away with her game there at the moment. 10 shots up.
Yeah, they've had, from what I've seen so far, they've had a pretty good game, but Chloe just been that little bit inside Bolivia's bowls on most occasions.
It's one of those games the score doesn't reflect how, how the play's gone. Yeah. They're very good heads. They've been having very good heads. So at the moment, Sean's holding 1, maybe 2 shots here.
He's played a good shot.
Good bowl.
But just stuck out a little bit, giving him a little bit of a look at it.
Something to look at.
A drive.
Oh, he's having a run at it. Oh, he's just stuck. Oh, he did get the edge. I didn't think he did.
Cut one out. He also rolled Sean's other bowl out as well, so I'm not sure whether that's made any difference.
Might be just 1 shot.
Good result.
It was.
See how good Sean's memory is here. If he
got an opportunity to make 3 here.
Yeah, a little touch on the jack will guarantee him.
He's grasped it pretty well. He's going to drop short. Too tentative.
Yeah,
He'd be unhappy with that one.
Yeah, I'm sure he will be. There's an opportunity gone begging.
Body language says it all.
Can't get touches when you're short, Bob.
No. Yeah. Just the one. He's had some chances there, Sean. Still, he got the 1 shot, so it's...
Yeah, a few little things could have had him out, another
way
sort of
there.
4 or 5 shots further, but...
That's all right.
Taking the mat
stretched it back a bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's taken the mat a little bit further back than what he has been, I think, maybe a metre. But the jack's further up the green as well, so it's more a longish sort of 3/4 end than just a touch shorter than what he had been playing earlier. When he had that loose end, I think he's just changed it a little bit to after having that loose one.
Well, Steve's got a reasonably good bowl here. Oh, he's just falling short. Sean going, he's under the head. Still.
He's got De Jong's got a handy lead on Glenn Bailey on the rink next door. He's had a good championship, Scott.
Yeah.
And won the triples and the 4s.
His leading was absolutely outstanding watching that game, or streaming that game. He was just spot on basically every end. He was just played so well.
Yeah, he's never too far away, Scotty.
Yep.
Playing out of the Tweed Heads Bowls Club at the moment. Playing against Glenn Bailey from Musgrave Hill, which is probably one of the closest bowls clubs to where we are today at Helensvale.
It would be the closest, I would think. Between that and Mackenzie Park, probably.
Wasn't a real good one for Sean to come chasing down, Bob.
No.
Bit of a short one.
Probably give him a bit of exercise.
Let's give him a look at the head. There's still plenty of room there. Both players are sort of not able to nail it, although Sean's first bowl was not too bad.
Morning, Jeffrey. Trust you're well today. Thank you for your comments. Mitch Goldsworthy's sent us a comment about the Karen, and yep, she's doing very well.
Well, it's an opportunity to put the pressure on here now for Sean.
Yeah, good home.
It's handy there, just in case Steve gets any touch on the jack, but still a bit of room there.
A lot of room for just a good dead draw bowl, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's put it out there.
Has he got the weight?
He's coming home.
3 bowls. 3 bowls all sort of all 2 or 3 foot short, so
yeah. He won't be happy with that.
Not a good end there from Tongi. It's a pretty soft 3 if it is 3.
Wow. Tongi's going through his brain again what he should have done. He's not happy.
3 short bowls is a bit of a sin.
Yeah, he was not happy. And the girls are loosening up here on the rink where we're standing.
Yeah, Chloe Stewart's got 2 within 6 inches, and Olivia Miller's had a drive, just pushed it a little bit narrow. So I think it's 2 more to Chloe.
Yeah, it would appear so.
Makes her 15-3. Karen Goldsworthy's just up 10-7 over Heather at the moment.
Yep. So 11-8 to Sean Ingham over Steve Tong.
We just missed how many shots they got there, Bob.
We did.
I was watching the girls' game.
Just going to put it up now. I think it was 3. So now it's now 14-8. 14-8 the
3
score.
Shots.
Yep.
Yep. Both players just having trying to zero in on it again, but a bit of unders and overs happening.
Isn't there? It's the walkabout time.
Yeah, it's sort of a crucial point of the game now at this sort of point where
it's interesting that often you'll find that if they go off, both go off a bit, and they're looser heads.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, well, Sean's definitely left the door open for Steve, but he's just not capitalising at the moment. So he is holding 2.
This looks a better weighted bowl. No, he's cut away.
Still
a couple down.
Still at least 1 down.
So what's Steve going to do here? Don't fall short.
Another short bowl.
Oh, goodness.
Great line, but...
Yep. Russ Hindle, how you going, mate? Good to hear from you.
Hasn't put the pressure on Sean. He's still got a bit of room. Just a little bit of a correction on his last.
Yeah. Both got plenty of room there. So what's Nugget done here? Corrected with his 4th bowl. He certainly has.
Good shot.
Oh, that's good.
It's the only good bowl of the end so far.
Correct.
Tommy's going the drive.
Got it.
Good shot.
Killed it. Good one.
Good shot there. He didn't have much of a gap there at the front, but picked it perfect.
There we go. Have an action replay for you all.
Thanks to Robbie Allen, extraordinaire.
Yep. Here we go. Watch this kitty go.
Only like a 2-bowl gap there, and he's a bowl and a half gap.
Yeah, well done, Robbie.
Got it perfect. Robbie and Tongi both got it perfect.
The replay, we only get a few seconds to catch it, and then you miss it, you miss it. Yeah. All good. So we
have replay the ends here in the state singles. So replay that end.
Yes. We go with Ray Howarth. I don't know if you know him or not, Brett. He's been watching from
Ray Howarth,
South Australia.
A Helensvale club member who's just moved to South Australia. Hi, Ray. Hope you settled in well down in South Oz.
Yep. Robin, your scores are on the screen for the ladies. I think they're pretty much up to date at the moment. So Sean sitting about 18 inches in front of the jack there.
Not a good one with that one. He was looking to correct a little bit of weight, but he's gone the other way.
Gone shorter. Sean, short Sean.
To Stephen's detriment, he's put it right in Steve's line to come in there and promote his own or get to the jack, so it's made him change hands.
He's played a pretty reasonable bowl here.
Yeah, great shot there.
Great bowl.
Made two. That's what he needs at this point of the game. A couple of good ones. He's sort of lost his way a little bit with his draw, hasn't he, Steve? But
get him back in the groove. Good effort there.
Good reply from Sean. He wasn't far out.
No.
Good second.
Couple of more rolls.
Steve was looking to a little toucher here around the corner. Will make it real hard for Sean to get to.
Yep.
See on the rink next door, Scott De Jong a couple down on the heads, run the jack in the ditch to hold shot.
Let's see what Sean's going to play here.
Tongi just overplayed that a bit. He sort of had to give it a little bit of a chance to try and trail a jack. Change it up, but finished in a good position. Not too far away.
He's well on here.
Good shot.
Still, Tongi be happy with that last bowl now.
Yeah, just in time. Pretty good shot by Nugget, but
it was.
Yeah, it was just a little bit too far. Free kick to Steve Tong to try and get him to double figures here. He's had a pretty good end this end, so you'd back him to draw another one.
Yep. He's giving it plenty of air. Be close.
Yeah, well, I think that end's going to give him a bit more confidence after a few loose ends. Yeah. Keeps him within reach.
Couple of shots to him.
Needs back-to-back ends though. It's so important when you break the cycle and stay in touch and get 2 or 3 ends in a row. Get the bit of momentum going.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is a lovely day for bowls out there, Christine. Steve shortened up the length.
I think Cassandra Millerick's just got off 3. She was been on 3 for a fair few ends.
She has, yes.
She scored 1 and changed the length. And then she's put one about a foot away, and Chloe's drawn inside her. So Chloe bowling very well at the moment. Both girls bowling well, but
the score doesn't reflect the standard of their game. Very good bowling by the girls. So Steve's holding shot there at the moment. to put in his second one. Very nice bowl. Lovely bowl.
Jake Rinn just making a little bit of a comeback over on the couple of rinks away. He's got back to 10-16 after being down a few more than that.
Yep.
It was just 2 down on their head and he's drawn a toucher, but he's jammed it into 2 of Kevin's bowls, so very good game going on there at the moment too. Good shot there from Sean Ingham, just getting second shot.
Yep, excellent bowl. So what Steve got here. Good line.
Yeah, very good bowl.
Oh,
changes it up, makes it a lot harder for Sean now. It's a good shot. He's found his way again after going a little bit of walkabout.
He has. A couple of shots here will make it an interesting game, Brett. Really make it interesting. Look at this head here.
Yeah, we're just looking at the girl's head. You could put a mat over all the bowls.
1, 2, 3. There's 6 bowls there.
6 bowls, and they're all within sort of 18 inches of the jack. And there's probably 4 bowls within 6 inches. So great bowling by both girls.
Amazing.
Not an easy shot here for Sean Ingham, but he could probably take a risk and hit the short. Yeah, Steve's short bowl onto his own.
Onto his own.
It just depends what weight he uses to whether his own.
That's what he's going to try.
His own bowl needs to get onto the jack or hang around.
Might have been a bit too heavy, do you think, for that?
It'll probably depend what the angles are. Looks like it's if he gets onto his own, it's going to jam off.
Yeah.
Off Steve's bowl and go close to the jack, but
could still be one down from it, but he'd get rid of one of them.
Doesn't help when you don't have any bowls past the jack.
No.
So
Steve's gone for cover there.
Even one down here for Sean probably be a good result.
Well, we're going to find out. I think he's
he
got
can nearly
it
clip his own out.
Oh, he was very lucky there.
I thought he had the edge of his own out clean.
It looked like it, didn't it? Wow.
Two shots.
Well, it's making an interesting game now.
It is.
Well, you'll probably stick to a shorter end.
Show that camera. Yeah, we're just saw the end of the girls' semi-final of Chloe Stewart and Bolivia Millerick. I think after the 8 bowls were all done, you could nearly put a mat over the 8 bowls. So great bowling by the girls. Chloe Stewart's won the end to take a 17-4 lead.
So we've gone short end again by Steve, which you'd expect. Having a bit of success on those, so that's good.
Yeah, it's sort of a longish short end.
Yeah, it's sort of a bit over.
It's a good start though. First bowl.
Matt's right back. It's probably up to about 35 metres or something. Close to that.
It's had a little bit of a swing now, haven't we, Bob? It's, Steve's starting to beat Sean to the jack.
He's getting his rhythm back, I think. Look at it.
Handy bowl there for if Sean happens to trail it.
Hello, Mary Davison, watching from Scotland. Welcome to our streaming. Pleased that you're back with us again. Must be doing something right for you to come back a second time after all 2 weeks. Yeah. She's always on there. She's obviously loves the game. James Kane, how are you?
Good shot there from Steve, but just it's given a little bit of a target for Sean. I'm sure he'll be having a little look at this. Just that last bowl, he's giving him the ledge to get off. Pretty good weight from Steve. He was just a little bit unlucky that it drifted under the jack, created a bit more of a target, but Sean Ingham's made the most of the opportunity. He's killed the end, so we'll have a replay now.
So start again on this end. We'll pretty much the same length again that he's thrown before.
Bring it around the front of the pole.
We're just having some adjustment of gear here. We've got a little bit of breeze coming up to flags are swinging actually nearly around the opposite direction from they were this morning, which happens here at Helensvale occasionally. We'll get a southerly breeze, and then we'll swing it around to the northeast. However, Stevens played two pretty good bowls here. He's just dropped, it's about probably 15 inches, 18 inches behind the jack. Sean's be holding shot probably with those front bowls. He wouldn't be happy with that one. And probably because the breeze has swung around the other way is what's just throwing the guys a little bit at the moment. Right out in the middle of the green, so they're copying the full front of the change of the wind.
Yeah, it's just swung around, changed a little bit. I noticed across the green on the other boys' rinks too, they've just sort of struggled a little bit for line as well.
Yep. So they're in the middle of the elements there. With any change that happens, it's just not as affected on the side ditch rinks here.
Bowl there from Sean.
He might have two, I'm not sure.
A little bit of an opportunity for a sit or trail, but I suppose if he's two down, he may be just trying to draw.
Yep.
So he's given it a bit of a chance.
That's a good bowl.
Good weighted bowl.
Very good bowl.
Just gave it that bit of a chance. Sit or trail. Sean was a little bit unlucky. He gave him that little bit of a target.
When Steve wanted the kitty at that weight, he would have had two or three.
Yeah, well, Sean can play a similar bowl here now. Sit the bowl or a little trail to make two himself.
If he trails that jack, he'd be happy. He's a little bit of weight on it.
Bowl clean.
Oh,
good result.
Lucky he's sat for two, I think.
Got his
that could have taken his own out through that
bowl
bowl there.
Back bowl, yeah, just enough.
He was fortunate then. That he played the shot.
Yeah, he didn't want any movement of the jack, but
he's taken those two. He might have three. It's the deception, isn't it, with those front bowls?
Yeah, that's right. It was a good result. A good shot. Two good shots from.
Yeah.
Good last bowl from both players.
Three shots, I think it is.
Not indicating this.
Not going to tell us.
There he is.
Here we go.
Three.
Was it?
Yeah, yep, three shots. Takes him to 17-12 now, Sean Ingham. Yep. Over Stephen Tong.
And he's on the...
One more shot to Chloe Stewart, takes her to 18-4 in the girls' semi-final. Karen Goldsworthy leading 13-7 over Heather Hodgkins.
Good start by Sean. Beautiful line. Probably about 18 inches behind the kitty there. Plenty of room.
We've just seen, I think it's 3 shots to Kevin Anderson, maybe 4 to take him out to win. 21-10 over Jake Rinn from North Toowoomba.
He put up a good fight, Jake.
Yeah, he had a good bit of a fight back. Kevin got a bit of a lead, but
yep.
Jake worked his way back into the game, but Kevin's finished off the stronger to get into the semi-final. So we've got our first semi-final sorted out. So Kevin's just defeated one of our Queensland under-18 reps, Jake Rinn, and now he's got to take on Scott De Jong, the winner out of Scott De Jong and Glenn Bailey in the rink next door. So then the other semi-final, Kane Nelson is through. One of our Queensland under-18 reps plays the winner out of this game that we're watching now, Sean Ingham and Steve Tong in the other semi-final.
Sean's second bowl is smack on. Good bowl.
He's got a good setup here, Sean.
He does, yes.
Steve had good weight, but he just ducked under. There's a bit of a waste there from Sean. He needed to reach there, get behind or count.
Yep.
A drive.
Could see that coming, but he didn't quite.
Hoping to kill the end there, Steve. He's only got one bullet left.
That's it.
I think Sean's probably forced himself to go back to the backhand. He's blocked himself off here. So I think he'll put the pressure on here, try and make 3. That's if it is 2. It might only be 1, Bob.
Yeah, it's difficult to physically look at it. That bowl of Sean's is a good nearly.
Oh, he's gone the block
2
up.
foot.
He's not far off line.
Not a bad effort.
If he fell, it'd be nearly perfect, but still enough to get in his eye.
He's only 1 down, according to the marker.
Decided to play a swinger.
Yeah.
Hard wait to get shot out of this.
Swing too much. Oh, got to get a straightener off the front blocker then.
That sort of weight, he really needed to get the outside edge of the bowl and then run through. But inside edge of the bowl was
too narrow.
Was looking at 2 down.
Yeah.
But, thought he might have went again because his bowls were sort of reasonably protected, but it's always that danger when your opposition's within scoring zone of going out. You've got to be a little bit careful. So 1 shot to Sean Ingham takes him to 18-12, needing 3 shots to go out. So it's the first one to 21 in the men's quarter final. Where there's a women's semi final, it's the first one to score 25.
Yep.
Same with the men's semi final. In the next round, it's the first one to score 25.
Anna North's asking you, Brett, would have you drawn or driven then if you were playing the game?
Well, I think I would have went for it.
Yeah.
It was just he had to play the perfect shot to get the outside edge of the bowl and run through. Otherwise, if he got it fat, he was giving him 2. I think at that stage of the game,
We're always wise in hindsight, aren't we?
You need to take a risk, but as I said earlier, the risk was there. He could have taken his own 2 out and dropped 4 and lost the game. So, but I think in those sort of situations, you sort of go to what you're confident with. So, I think if you're confident of he's just missed a drive by probably a foot. Yeah. So, if he missed a foot wide, well then he's nearly getting his own. So, I think you got to back yourself. If you're confident, you go and get it. But if you got a few doubts, well then it can change what you play.
So Sean's drawn a nice bowl at the back there. Tongy's first bowl wasn't too bad either, but he's just got pipped then. He can play a similar bowl. He's going to drop short though, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's probably blocked himself off there. It's
Yeah.
not ideal.
Not what you want to do.
No.
Sean's having a look at this now. Pick up another shot. Oh, he's short too. The breeze is coming up a bit though, and it's probably affecting the a little.
Yeah, the breeze has changed now, so it's now coming from right to left as you look at the screen.
Yep, total reverse to the start of the game.
Yeah, it's completely changed.
Just a little straightener there.
Good weight there from Steve.
It was.
It's just not an easy shot though. He's trying to get around the short bowls, promote his own, hit the shot.
Does he play underneath onto maybe
Steve? Yeah, well, it's with that bowl there now. It's given him he can play on the forehand, try to splash the jack, or get the inside of his own onto the shot bowl. It's probably an easier shot than trying to draw around on the backhand. I think Sean will be trying to beat that last bowl now, get around his own, get to Steve's last bowl to cover. It's pretty hard for him to get another shot.
Played a pretty good weight here. Good effort.
Good attempt. He's got the best back, but I think if the jack moves, it's probably going. He's backed himself to stay with the same one. His weight was good with the last, so he just had to correct his line.
Yep. That's a good bowl.
You really needed to give that a chance. Then it was sort of not a lot of danger if he was up, but. One more to Sean, gets him within 2 shots of winning the game.
Yep. He can start to sniff it now, probably. He's still got to get the shots.
That's right. I think we were mentioning earlier, how many times do you see someone get within 1 or 2 shots of going out and they get stuck in singles? It's never over until it's over. He's got the Zhongs in the other quarter final still playing, gone out to an 18-8 lead, so he's within reach of pegging out now.
Yeah.
Chloe Stewart 19-4 up, so she's first one to 25 in the women's semi-final, so she's tracking along well. And Karen Goldsworthy with her nose in front. She's always had that little gap for a fair while now, hasn't she? But she just can't break away too much.
Run pretty well. Sean's just holding a shot there.
Pretty good weight.
Yeah.
Both players just, that breeze getting up. You can see the flag there at the back right hand side blowing the opposite way now. So they're both just sort of getting stuck that little bit wide with the breeze holding them.
So Sean's now holding game. 2 shots. Do you leave that alone now, or go around the back, or what do you do? Or
I think
play the other
depends
hand.
where this finishes. I think I'd still be looking to sort of maybe full draw, trail the jack a little bit. Turn his own. There are gaps there at the moment, but.
Yep. He's making sure of it.
Interesting whether he goes this now. I think, after dropping short, might give it a really good chance. He has.
There he is. Just got it. Oh, he's giving himself a shot, maybe.
He's got a dream result if he has. But he's been pushing his drive a little bit narrow. Most of his drives
steering him a bit, isn't he?
Yeah, going narrow. But
I don't know if he may still have 2 shots there. I don't think so.
It's close all round, I think. He's opting to change hands. So he's looking to try and sit the bowl clean here.
He's got the bowl. Oh, a little bit
of A little bit
Well
of a
played.
lucky rub. He was in the area, but the slide got him the perfect result. I think he was sort of getting the jack otherwise. But
Well, this is the do-or-die shot, isn't it?
holding game.
Oh,
Good shot.
well done. Well done. Good bowl.
A lot better line there from Steve after we just mentioned he's been going a lot narrow on his forehand drives, but never really looked offline with that one. It was good stroke.
Was.
So he only just got the edge.
He did, but he got the result, and that's, yeah.
So he's killed the end. So we're replaying ends here today in the state singles championship. Keeps him alive.
Yeah, keeps him honest.
Scott de Jong looks like he's holding game over on the next rink, with Glenn Bailey still has two bowls to come.
Sean's
good drive.
First bowl. Sorry.
A good drive from Bolivia Millerick. Was down with the last bowl, got the shot to take her score to 5-19.
Scotty's just he's on a fairly long end, and he's just trailed the kitty back to his own bowl. He's sitting there with 2 shots.
Not an easy shot for Glenn to get out of, being down game, 1 bowl to come.
So on the feature rink, we've got Sean sitting with 1 shot at the moment. He's drawn a second.
Maybe enough for 2 to hold game again. Glenn Bailey's gone narrow, so looks like game there to Scott de Jong. He's through to the semi-final. He'll play Kevin Anderson in one semi-final. Good shot there from Stephen Tong. Gave it a chance. He had 2 bowl target to sit or trail a jack.
He's going down fighting. Not that he's down yet either. He's certainly taking it up to Sean.
He's just a bit stiff. He didn't stay with it there, so a bit of room here for Sean. I'll be disappointed with that.
A bit short.
After 2 pretty good bowls,
Yeah.
it's he's missed opportunity. Well, that's a missed opportunity too, really.
Yes.
So needed to jump on there, put the pressure on Sean. Probably make Sean change hands his last bowl, because he's right in his own line there, so he's got to come between Steve's bowls.
The breeze being bowl home too.
Got a bit of traffic to get through.
He's done that.
Don't think he would have been trying to come under that bowl, Bob. I think he might have been trying to come around that. What do you think?
Yeah, I believe he was trying to come out here.
A little bit fortunate.
Yep.
Still room for Steve, though.
He's pointed it pretty well. There he's drawn a bowl. Beautiful bowl. Come on, push.
Was it enough?
Oh.
I thought he had plenty on that, but it pulled up quick.
We're going to have a look at it. It's deceptive, isn't it?
Yeah.
That angle at the front.
Falling over may not have helped him, but
One to Sean. Okay, Sean's on 20 now. 20 to 12. See how we go on getting the last. Stretched it out a bit more. Slightly longer end.
yeah, probably about 2 metres off ditch to ditch.
Yep. Good start by Nugget. Very good.
Just what you want when you're on 20.
I reckon.
A front hopper. Oh, he's fallen out. Just as I said, a front hopper. He's fallen out. But, yeah, great starter.
Steve's after him. It's just a good effort.
Yeah, good attempt.
My word.
Gave her that little chance, which you've got to do in this situation. Finishing a good home. I think Nugget's got to try and do something similar now. Just pass the jack. Tuck it around the corner.
Yep. Not be short.
Yeah, or offline and give a target. Give him a guide. He doesn't need to change too much, Steve.
He's got a good line here.
Close.
He's got it.
Yeah,
Well
very
done.
good shot.
Great bowl.
And put it in a great position
Yes,
too.
he has.
Yeah, he didn't need to change too much, and he just changed it perfectly, really.
Yes, he did. And just when you think you've got it under control.
All of a sudden.
Yeah. Plays a good bowl here, but just under it. Bad luck.
Yeah, he couldn't have played it much better. Great weight.
Yes.
Good morning to Alex Murtar, all the way from Mount Isa. Interesting what Sean does here now, whether, he's just played good weight. Does he try and play the same weight, correct his line? Or does he look up, under the backhand, under his own, try and get one bowl or get the jack to kill it? At least get one bowl out. I think with Steve not capitalising, getting another bowl on the head there, I think I'll nearly tip Nugget to look down the backhand there, try and get rid of one of the bowls or kill it. No, he's opted to play the forehand. Well, he had a good weighted bowl, so just needs to correct his line. The same bowl.
He's played that pretty well as well again.
Another good weighted bowl.
He's only probably one down, I think.
Yeah, well, if he's one down, it's definitely the right shot to play.
Hard to say.
Steve's got an opportunity to promote his own, or even if he can get under the hit Sean, the sit on Sean's bowl, he could make three.
We're not going to be able to tell. We just got a
just
Broad Beach Bulls advertising on at the moment.
Close. Close for two. It's two.
Two. He's taken two.
Measure for the third.
There.
Well, if you can get three here and then win back-to-back ends, as we've got a game on.
My word. I don't know about Nuggets dropped his lip yet, but he's certainly just finding it hard to get that extra one, as we said before.
Well, he started the end well.
Yeah, he played a beautiful bowls, first two bowls.
He had three good bowls, really. It was only that second bowl that dropped short and gave Steve the opportunity to trail the jack. Gave him a bit of a guide, really. So Steve's played a couple of three good bowls as well. So they both had one loose one, but 3 out of 4 is not bad.
So if you're in the area, folks, pop on down to Club Helensvale. There's going to be some fantastic bowls played all day today, and some quality bowling by these finalists.
Yeah, we've got the women's final on after this game, and then the men's final following that. So some great games coming up.
We'll keep you abreast of the the men's semi as well, while we're streaming the ladies' finals.
Karen Goldsworthy's, I think she's just won back-to-back ends. I think she's picked up a couple of twos, so I haven't updated the scoreboard yet, but I think she may be out to an 18-11 lead now. So, yeah, she's sort of always been that few in front, but now she's just kicked away against Heather Hodgson.
So Sean's holding shot there, but there's Daylight's second. Here we go. Steve's now corrected his first nicely and just finished behind the head. About 1.5 feet, 2 foot. Sean's second bowl. Runny.
Unders and overs.
Pretty well lined bowl from Steve again. Yeah, good bowls.
Good shots. Pressure's on Sean now.
It is.
He's going to try and get one in the middle.
He's well pointed. He might be still too running, is he? Yep. Still too money. Thought he corrected that when it was coming down. It looked like he'd corrected it, but didn't by
He was
much.
watching as if he thought it was a bit better than that. But opportunity here for Steve to really put the pressure on.
He's letting his bowl do the work too. He's putting it out there.
Good shot.
Great bowling.
It's right in the line of the draw shot too. So interesting what Sean plays here.
Is he?
So he's staying on the backhand.
Is he? I thought he might have changed then. He certainly narrowed it up.
He's having a little run at it. Looking for a result.
Yeah, he's got the bowl.
Oh, good attempt.
Couple down.
It was a pretty good shot, but it was not easy to get shot out of that. And I think, ideally his best option was just really to try and cut it down, but he's taken one out. So 2 shots to Steve. Keeps him in touch.
Does.
16-20 now. One more shot gets him within, that peg out.
Yep.
Which always changes the mentality a little bit when you're playing singles. For both players, really, when they know that, their opposition or themselves have got an opportunity to peg out. Always got to keep that in the back of your mind, how you play the end. But, Steve's last bowl really made the difference then. Sean had a free run to the jack until he put that there. Made it a lot harder for him to get to.
Good bowl here, Steve. Lovely start.
It's nearly a repeat of a few ends ago when Sean put one nearly exactly the same.
Yep.
Tide's turned a little bit. It's been a seesawing game, hasn't it? Sean got his nose in front, got a bit of a break, then Steve caught him up. And Sean's got another break again, but he's fighting hard. Steve coming back at him once more.
Another good ball by Steve.
Get behind it. Very good shot.
Well done.
Don't come much better than that.
Nope.
Good nugget on the run.
He's got the result. Got it.
Yeah, good shot.
Yep.
Nice reply.
Good controlled weight, that.
Important bowl. He's changed that momentum of Tong. He's nailed it twice.
Yep. Send the bowls back.
Good replay here from Robbie Allen.
Perfectly
Never looked
played
like
that.
missing, really.
That was right on, wasn't it? Yep. Good shot.
So the bowls are going back so we can replay the end. First one to 21 here in the quarter-final of the men's, whereas the semi-finals of both the men's and women's are 25 up.
Yep. I think Chloe's holding game at the moment on her.
No, she's 19-8, so they're playing to 25 up.
Oh, 25, beg your
Yeah.
pardon, yes. 25.
Karen Goldsworthy holding shot again with Heather's last bowl just in motion. You just see in the top right corner Heather's bowl coming in for shot.
Yep. Lovely bowl.
Yeah, so she's been stuck on 11 for a while, Heather, so it looks like she's gotten shot out of that.
And Steve, less daylight for his, between the Jack and the...
Yeah, a bit different start to the replay of this
Wasn't
end.
it?
Sean not capitalising though.
No. Good correction.
What do you think the green's running? It'll be about 14 and a half?
14, 15.
Yeah, maybe started at 14, getting close to 15 now.
Yep. Nice steady pace.
As we said earlier, the wind was blowing as you're looking at screen from right to left at the start of the game, but now it's changed completely opposite to be blowing left to right as you look at the screen.
Steve's dropped one there about probably 6 8 inches short, but enough to be shot at this stage.
Good weight again. But
Oh,
interesting, he sort of struggled with his draw. He might run this.
Yep.
On target.
Got it.
Good shot. I don't think it's enough to get it out though.
Not sure.
Jack's still in,
Close.
so
Yep.
let's try and get the camera over to
Just
where the
that
Jack is.
to pick it up.
There we are. Good shot from
Yeah.
Steve Tong.
Well done.
Very good shot to hold two.
That's amazing shot there after that.
Yeah, it's never easy when I don't think they've had many Jacks offline in this game.
No,
So
they've either been on the line or dead. There
yeah,
isn't much else.
I think Sean will be happy to keep this to one, really. But
He's on all over it, I think.
oh, great shot.
Oh,
Couldn't have played that much better.
no.
Two good shots there to the offline Jack. Well, we've got a game on our hands, Bob.
We do.
17 Steve Tong, 20 to Sean Ingham. Both within reach of going out now. Who you tipping, Bob?
Oh, I'm tipping Sean still. I think he's going to settle down and get a couple of ends or a couple of shots. Well, he only needs one, but I think he'll just get over the line. Having said that, Steve's coming home with a wet sail, so
But Chloe Stewart's just picked up a couple, so 21-8 up now over Bolivia Milrick. Bolivia's just been hanging in there. She scored a few shots to stay in touch, but Chloe now within reach of pegging out.
Steve's
Nugget's just lost his way a little bit with the draw, hasn't he?
He
Just
has.
can't sort of get on the Jack at the moment.
I think that definitely the breeze is probably just right out in the middle of the green there. You're copping the full brunt. Just adjustment.
Bit of insurance there for Steve around the back.
Yeah. Sean's a little bit wide still.
He's lost his line and weight, really. That's
I might have given him a curse, I think. Having picked him
yeah, he's got the bob kiss of death.
it's happened the last 2 weeks.
Well, Steve's hasn't capitalised on it though, so if it's only one, he might have another run at this.
Yeah, got him. You're right.
On target.
We got it. And it'll be dead.
Yeah, I don't think that'll stay in.
No,
yeah, well, it's sort of opportunity for Steve hasn't, he's sort of gone wayward with a couple as well, so if he draws another one there, Nugget may not have run at it, but it's,
I guess also desperation, isn't it? At that stage.
Even though he's lost his draw a little bit, Sean, his forehand runners have been pretty accurate. He hasn't been too far away with all those so far.
On the shorter ends too. It's interesting to see if Tongi stretches this one out a bit, or if he sticks with it.
He's taken the mat back, half a mat in front of the tee.
Probably not much difference in the length that he's been playing.
Short 3/4.
Thankfully we got the nice zoom on our cameras here to be able to bring the head a bit closer for us to see. Yeah, good stone. Oh, he's through a couple of feet. 2 foot there. Plenty of room. Yeah, good start by Sean.
Yeah, it's his best draw shot for a while.
Yeah, still probably a foot of weight there.
Number of bowls
in front. This is a good bowl. Good reply.
Yeah, good shot.
Fantastic reply.
May have nearly even brought his back bowl in for 2. He's gone for the.
He's not mucking around. That was a little bit of rush there, bit of blood rush.
Oh, we just gave him a rap on his forehand runner, but I think his first backhand runner that I can remember. I don't think he's had too many backhand runners, so opportunity for Steve here to, if he can tuck that jack around the corner, will make a huge difference.
Yeah, Mitchell, Kane Nelson defeated Paul Gilbert, so he goes on to the semi-final. Just to answer your question there.
He's good enough weight. Good shot. Very good good draw shot after a runner.
Absolutely.
So, opportunity.
Roles might be reversed here now.
Yeah, well, he's holding game, but if Steve Tong can trail this jack around the corner, he can hold game.
Yep. This is a do-or-die bowl.
Is he going to hold?
No, he's going to cut it. He's got it. No, he hasn't.
Oh, good attempt. Is it hung on?
I don't know. A bit hard to tell on that angle. He might be down.
I think he's got it out enough. I think Steve Tong's holding one here.
Good effort.
Sean's can he repeat his last effort? He was good shot the last one.
He's on the light line.
He's going to hold on.
He's playing the ball through. Oh, he's going to cut the.
Good attempt.
Goodness me. Goodness me. I think he was lucky he got the shot.
One to Stephen Tong, 18-20.
I thought Nugget was just looking to rest on that jack high bowl there.
Yeah.
Just went through. Wow.
You're still tipping Sean, Bob?
They'll have an each way bet now, I think.
Well, he had a couple of better draw shots that end. So
he did.
He's held game, but to Steve Tong's credit, down game and played just enough to get it out.
Yes.
And also had an opportunity to hold game himself
if
he could have trailed that jack, but keeps
Both
him alive.
Had the chance. G'day, Russell Hubbard from Thursday Island. How is it over there? Nice day, nice weather.
Most northern tip of Australia.
Yep.
They're just in the process of getting a new surface on their green up there that was kindly donated by the Moama Bowling Club.
Really? That's great.
Yeah, so it'll be great for the club once they get their new surface down and being able to play on that.
Have you been up there?
No, I haven't been up there yet. I'd like to get up there one day and have a look.
Well,
I've heard it's a very nice spot.
Have a word to the CO.
It's one thing, you know. I've seen some Thursday Island people down playing throughout the championships. It's you know, you really appreciate the
spread,
the time that and money that people from, you know, from places like that and Longreach and all over parts of Queensland come together to play in these championships. It really is, you know, amazing too.
And good camaraderie, isn't it?
Yeah. And throughout the district sides as well, the camaraderie and the way the games are played, and you know, to catch up with old friends and make new friends. It's just these championships are great for that sort of thing, for everyone across the state to come together.
And it's great to be able to share all this with these guys too, that to get out there so they can see the bowls if they can't get down. Sean's drawn an absolute dead toucher there.
Yeah, it's great shot. I think Steve will be just trying to crack an egg on it, just to pop it back to his own.
Yep.
He's playing down the back end.
It's a good line. Very good line.
Fair attempt.
Oh. Great effort.
Well, he's opened it up. He's given himself a look at the jack. He sort of needed one or the other. He needed the jack or
I thought he had
the bowl.
I thought he had the jack all the way then, but he just missed out. Yeah, it was a good effort, that.
Yeah, millimetres off the jack.
Yep.
But he's given himself a look at it.
Yep. So Sean's put one around the back. He's
well,
going to leave well alone.
All of a sudden, Steve Tong could trail the jack here for game. Down game, could make game.
Wow.
Exactly the same bowl as his last will get it for him.
Enough to change.
We'll see how good his memory is, Bob.
A little bit more weight on this.
He's having a go.
Come on, Stephen.
Oh, very good shot.
He's holding two, maybe three.
Yeah, it's close to holding game.
Oh, he might have the four. Goodness.
Yeah, very good shot.
Well, if you want to lose a game, ask me who's going to win.
Well, it'll be interesting what he plays here, because if he is down game, is he going to just try and draw it, or is he going to try and run? There are gaps there.
He's got to have three shots, hasn't he?
I think he'd have to be drawing the shot, I would imagine. But it looks like he's lining up for a run. He's going for it.
Oh, goodness.
What's he got?
He's missed it.
Oh.
Kidding.
Well, had a target there.
He's lost it.
Well,
past me.
He's missed wide. He had two bowl jack target. There was gaps. We gave him a wrap on his forehand runner, and he's just let him down with his last bowl. So,
goodness.
3 shots to Stephen Tong to take the match. Mighty comeback from Stephen Tong.
Yep, I think Desley Bissett got it in one with her mojo there.
Yeah, I thought he would have tried to draw that. He had room to, full draw, sit the bowl, trail the jack. But in saying that, he had been playing very good on his forehand runner, and he's backed himself to at least get one out.
Yep.
Just pushed it that little bit wide. Another inch narrow, he would have got a result. But full credit to Stephen Tong. He hung in there after being down. I think it was around 20-12. Was it? Bob?
Yep.
Early in the game.
One shot. All that time for one.
So Steve Tong's through to the semi-final of the Queensland State Singles, and will play Kane Nelson from Belmont Services in one semi. And we've got Kevin Anderson will play Scott De Jong in the other semi-final coming up later on. But we'll just switch over now to the to the women's semi-finals being played at the moment. That's the first one to 25 in the semi-finals. Both the men's and women's. We've got Chloe Stewart currently leading 22-10.
22-10.
Over Bolivia Milrick.
So we've given them a rap on the heads they've had this game. They've had some fantastic heads, and the score certainly doesn't reflect how these girls have been playing.
Yeah, we've given them, every time we look over, the heads have been all over it, and then we jump across, Bob, and you've given them the kiss of death again. Yep. On the other rink on the scoreboard, it's Karen Goldsworthy 18 to Heather Hodgson 11. So they've played a couple of ends. I'm not sure whether they haven't updated the board or whether they've had some dead ends. So I haven't noticed the last few ends, but we'll wait and see.
It's been on 18-11 there for quite a while.
Yeah. Good shot there from Bolivia Milrick.
Might be able to confirm that score, Robbie. Might be able to confirm the score on 18-11. It's been on there for quite a while.
Just repeating, we'll after following this game, we'll be showing the women's singles final, and then following that game, we'll be showing the men's singles final later on this afternoon.
That's why we got that break. We'd like to thank Gold Coast, City of Gold Coast, for helping us along with this work. They're the major sponsors for the live streaming for the 2019 Bowls Queensland State Championships, and we thank them so much for their support. They're very much involved in helping bowls on the coast, and we appreciate it very much. Yeah,
they're very good supporters of bowls. You know, for many years on the Gold Coast, the Gold Coast City Council, they really get behind a number of events. So we really appreciate their support.
It's not been able to get the attention of the marker on that rink, but that's okay. We'll just have to.
She's heading down that end, so I'm sure they'll
see if the scores change this time.
So there's one shot there to Heather.
Yeah, I think she missed one end putting the scores up. I'm not sure.
I think they had one dead end that I know of.
Okay.
The jack, they got an umpire measure before the jack may have just gone out.
Yep. So
looks like one shot to Chloe.
Chloe's holding one there, I think, at about 1 o'clock on the screen.
Well, opportunity if Bolivia can trail that jack a little bit around the corner. She can make 2 or 3 here.
Yes, it's
both one bowl left each. Both using yellow bowls, but Chloe's just got a little bit of lime around the outside of her bowls. You can just see that little bit of a difference. She's not far away here, Bolivia.
No, she's played it pretty well.
She's going to hold. Oh, good shot. See, she's played that perfect to try and make 3, but just not quite the right.
Bowl.
Yeah, it's not quite. Hasn't made it very easy for Chloe to get another one here either. She's got to be a little bit careful.
Yep. Give it away that hand. You might even take a risk on the other hand, maybe.
So we've updated the scoreboard on the other women's semi-final, and Heather's won the last few ends to get to 15 now, so she's slowly making a comeback. 18-15 to Karen Goldsworthy. First one to score 25 here in the semi-final.
Right, Chris Mudd, here you go, mate.
I think Chloe wasn't trying too hard with that bob, I don't think.
No, it was pretty dangerous.
Yeah,
so just carried it up the other end when you had a look.
Good shot from Bolivia, just a little bit unfortunate with the result, but gets Chloe Stewart within 2 of going out now, so yeah, it could have been a big turnaround if she had trailed the jack a little bit more sideways there to hold 3, would have kept her in touch, but it'll be a big comeback if Bolivia can get back from here, Bob.
Will be.
I reckon with your form, if you pick Chloe to win, Bolivia would be a good chance of getting back from here.
We could make a game of it, couldn't we?
Put your kiss of death on her.
No, she's bowling well. She's bowling well. She's bowled well all 2 weeks. been fantastic. She's had some
both.
good results. Well, both have, actually.
Yeah, I mentioned it a couple of times, but they've both been playing well. But Chloe's just been that little bit inside of Bolivia's bowls, but still both playing well.
Yeah, reasonable start.
And Karen on the other ink after getting a little bit of a break now is just Heather's starting to catch her up a little bit.
It's not doing anything.
Well, it's probably just enough for shot, I think.
Yeah.
Looking
Hard to
pretty
say.
close.
They're both a couple of feet away.
Yeah.
Chloe does here. In the zone, right area. She's going to fall a little short.
Just like to take an opportunity to thank our partners of Bowls Queensland as well. We have BCIB, who sponsored the district sides that we had on recently, Bob, here on the Gold Coast. They're sponsored that event for many years and been a long-term supporter of bowls in Queensland, along with Mullins Lawyers, also a long-term supporter with Henselite and Club Super. Been with clubs. Bowls Queensland for many years, so we thank them for their support. More newer sponsors, we have Nunda Mitsubishi, who were a sponsor in the past but have just come back on board this year again, which is great. And Mitsubishi are offering all bowlers in Queensland a fleet discount if you quote a code of GC50. Every bowler in Queensland can get access to fleet discounts on brand new Mitsubishi cars, which
generous offer.
Yeah, which could be thousands of savings. So
absolutely,
get down to your nearest Mitsubishi to check that out.
Chloe's just drawn a shot here, jack high, under the head, but
yeah, she's come right between both the Bolivia's bowls, so it was a very good shot.
Bolivia's not far away here.
Oh, good response.
Sad. Thought she had that clean.
She's really made it hard to get to now, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Which is not good when your opponent only needs a couple to go out.
Yep. And Asset Sports a new partner with you guys?
Yeah, ACID is a new apparel provider that we've just created a partnership with just recently, earlier this year. And they created a new Queensland strip for us to play in the Australian Sides Championships, which the players all said were very comfortable and look good. So yeah, we thank ACID for their support, who make very good apparel.
We can't do it without the support, without the sponsors, that's for sure.
And we thank our host club, Club Helensvale, being a good host of all our final series for the state championships. Also a host club in the Asia Pacific Games coming up after the Australian Open in a few weeks.
Yeah, club's going to be very busy with both major events coming on in the next 2 months or month and a half.
Opportunity here for Chloe to
hold
game here if she can draw another shot.
Played this beautifully. It's going to come home.
She got the weight. She just needs to run.
Would back it in.
Yeah, I think she's just got a nose
just
in there, I think. So it's definitely 2 shots.
Well,
not an easy shot for Bolivia.
Bolivia's going to have to play through that last bowl, I would have thought.
Well, it is possible she could get that last bowl onto the edge of the shot bowl and get it out.
Or
get it
push
out clean.
the kitty back to her own bowl at the back.
Yeah, it's Bolivia's at the back waiting for any jack movement. That's probably the easiest shot to play.
Yep.
Otherwise, she's trying to draw the shot on the backhand. But
she hasn't been afraid to have a couple of drives.
Yeah, she was looking at that shot. She's lining up for the forehand.
It's, do or die.
Usually has a pretty good forehand runner, Bolivia.
She's just playing it with. I think she's just going to miss this.
Yeah, good attempt.
Good effort. Right weight, just a bit tighter.
And 2 shots there to Chloe Stewart.
That's taken her out.
Gets her the first one into the final here today in the Queensland
game.
Women's State Singles Championship.
Good plays.
So there's Chloe Stewart now at Tweed Heads Bowling Club. She works with Wayne Turley down there as an assistant in organising the bowls. Have a lot of great events down there at Tweed Heads.
Yes.
And a lot of a very popular place for social bowls as well. So great setup there at Tweed Heads.
We'll just pick up the swing across to the other game now, just to give you a heads up on that.
Both girls, Chloe and Bolivia, Queensland teammates, and also in the Jackaroos Australian squad.
Yep.
Yeah, both been playing very well. Bright futures of the game.
Yep. So
just moving some cameras over at the moment so we can watch the other semi, as Bob mentioned. This stage looks like Heather's holding 1, maybe 2, 1 and a measure. Both players 1 bowl left to come.
Yep.
Score's currently 18-15. Karen's got an opportunity here to sit or trail.
Yep.
She's got a couple of bowls waiting if she can trail a jack.
she's given it a chance.
We might just see the end of this.
Oh, great
what a
bowl.
shot.
Nearly 3 shots.
Great shot. That's a perfect way to bowl,
Wasn't
isn't it,
it?
Bob?
What? It was just divine.
She just had a little bit of a target there and took the opportunity. Not easy now for Heather. She's going to have to try and sit or trail on the backhand. Just got a spectator blocking our view at the moment. He's waiting for her to deliver before he moves, so as soon as she lets it go, I think he'll go.
Here we go.
That's right.
Thank you, sir.
She looks a good line, Bob.
Yep.
She got the weight.
Oh, good effort.
Oh, very good attempt.
Well done.
She couldn't have
Good
played it
try.
too much better.
No.
Had her own waiting out on the wing if she had jammed the jack out, but could be 3 shots. That's a big turnaround.
That's
1, maybe 2 down for Karen Goldsworthy. Trail for 3 shots. So 4 or 5 shot turnaround.
Very good. Well, they're making a game of this one. That's great.
3 shots, yeah. So 21-15 now to Karen Goldsworthy. First one to score 25. Just repeating our earlier games in the men's quarterfinals with Scott de Jong through to the semi-final to play against Kevin Anderson in one semi of the men's state singles, and also Stephen Tong winning our featured game over Sean Ingham by 1 shot to get through to play Kane Nelson, who had a very good win in his quarterfinal. So a couple of good semi-finals coming up there, Bob,
There
and the
it
men's.
is. Going to be a cracker. I think Stephen Tong's new nickname might be the Phoenix. He rose from the ashes and that's good weight but very wide. So thanks for sticking with us, people. We're going to take you through to the end of this game.
We'll just try and get that other camera moved if we can. Down the other end. A little bit wayward there from Karen. She's has put one out fairly well jack high, but she's just put one in the ditch. So opportunity for Heather here to draw another one to make 2. Just getting that camera moved now, thanks. Speeder Hutchinson. Oh, good shot here from Heather. Makes 2. Just short of the jack, probably about 18 inches short. Made Karen change her hand.
And she's
bit quick
area
again.
here, a bit quick.
Oh, she's crashed on the short bolt. Karen out to 24.15. We must have missed an end there before.
Yeah.
Didn't realise that she was out to that. So she's she's had opportunity to go out here, but Heather's hanging in there.
Yep. Fallen short.
Not sure whether that'll count. Well, it's close,
Yeah,
Bob.
she's drawn the shot there.
Drawn
I'd
the
say,
shot.
for sure.
Holding game.
Yep. Oh, she's
Holding
nothing
game.
to lose to reach
Karen
this.
Goldsworthy, last bowl to come from Heather. Looking to sit or trail. Can sit for 3 shots if she can stay.
Not much we can do about that, guys, with the camera placements. We're trying to follow all the games for you, but she's pulled that, so it's all over.
Yeah, good last bowl there from Karen Goldsworthy to peg out, but she sort of gave Heather a little bit of a sniff there with a few loose, 3 loose ones, and just come up trumps with the last one. So Karen Goldsworthy's through to the final of the Queensland women's state singles. To play.
So with the next games, I'm just wondering what time we're going to play that. I'm not sure.
So Karen Goldsworthy will play Chloe Stewart in the final of the women's singles. So we're going to have a break for a little while to get them, allow them to get something to eat, and so we're looking probably around 11:30.
Yeah, 11:30, 11:45, something like that, for the next game. So we'll keep you posted on that. Look forward to playing that final and getting back with you guys shortly. And we'll be probably closing this telecast just for shortly.
But thanks everyone for tuning in this morning, and make sure you come back and share the stream so all your friends can tune in with us and watch the final of the women's singles between Karen Goldsworthy and Chloe Stewart here at around 11:30, 11:45. At the same time, the men's semi-finals will be played between Scott De Jong and Kevin Anderson, and also Stephen Tong and Kane Nelson. And then following the women's final, we'll be showing the men's final later on this afternoon.
Yep, so it's all good bowls coming through. So if you're in the area, come down to Helensvale and have a look, watch us play these fantastic games that are scheduled. And if you can't, get online and catch us up on Facebook on the Bowls Queensland site.
Heather Hodgkins had a great championships, hasn't she? Been to a few finals. So yeah, very very consistent effort across multiple events.
Yeah, she played very well.
As same with Scott De Jong, already won 2 titles, going for his 3rd. So very good effort from him, the local Tweed Heads player.
Yeah, Scotty's played magnificently well this last 2 weeks. Very good. Okay, so we're just winding up now, and we'll be back at about 11:45.
Thanks, Bob.
There is no other place in the world like our city. We're unique, vibrant, and a little unexpected. We're so much more than sand, surf, and sports. We're for telling local tales, unearthing hidden gems, and sharing the stories of spectacular people. As a young city in transformation, the best is yet to come. We are Gold Coast.